boys and girls. It's time yet again for Thorytime Thursdays. And as you know, things have been getting quite chaotic out there. But we've got our own campaign to run, so let's keep it going. Back at headquarters, you find half the office gathered around the TV in the corner. Soon Lee turns when you come in and waves you over. "It's Normal's new ad," she tells you in a stage whisper. "The Oppo firm managed to get their hands on an advanced media copy. Your opposition research firm is one of the best. You don't know how they befriended to get you this sneak peek, but you're glad they did." You crowd closer to the TV, craning to see over everyone else's heads. It's a positive spot. Surprisingly enough, soft focus on Normal walking through a field of some nice puffy quotes about values and real leadership. A shout out to the campaign website. You note with little smugness that it's not nearly as good as Good Penny's ad, even if you are biased. When it's over, Soon Lee snaps the TV off. You look around. The rest of the staff looks as smug as you feel. And you know you're not the only one thinking. Ours is better. Checking your phone as you walk into the back office, you're not surprised to see an email from Divya. "See the ad yet?" is the subject. Now that both campaigns are on the ad, the TV wars have really begun. And Divya wants to know if you want to stick to your guns or try a change of tactics. Keep running the same ad? I don't want to let Normal drive the conversation. Run a new ad, but stick to the positive. I don't want to start mudslinging just yet. Run a negative ad. The harder hitting, the better. Well, right now, we should all really stick to our guns. So, that's what we're going to do. Good Penny's ad hasn't been on the air for long. You're loath to change it before you can get an idea of how well it's working. You fire off an email to Divya telling her to stay the course. "I'm feeling pretty good about the ad we're running now," you tell Divya. "Let's keep it rolling for a while. All you want to do is shut yourself in your office and spend the next afternoon doing nothing more than taxing them writing emails. But the universe has other plans. You've barely walked in the door when intern Sydney comes hurrying over, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed as always, you know. Where do kids like that get the energy? I mean, obviously Red Bull and cocaine, but that's beside the point. "I have the report you asked for, Mr. Torchetti," Sydney says, waving a folder at you. "It's impressively thick for intern research." "Great," you say, trying to force more enthusiasm into your voice than you feel. "That's great. Why don't you let me get a cup of coffee and I'll meet you in my office so we can chat about what you turned up." Fortified with caffeine, you find the prospect of talking through Sydney's research project much more appealing. At least it's half an hour where you won't have to make any life or death decisions. Ooh. Learn everything you can about werewolves. Nice.
"So, I wasn't sure if you wanted to like the scientific stuff or more political stuff or what. So, there's a little bit of everything in here."
Sydney shuffles the folder nervously, then hands it over to you so you can start flipping through it. It's well organized, even if it's not much more than light reading on any one subject.
"I started with the mythological stuff,"
Sydney says helpfully.
"Traditional causes of lycanthropy, cures, weaknesses, and so on. Most of that stuff's not true, as it turns out, except for the garlic allergy."
Garlic allergy, you ask?
"Werewolves are allergic to garlic,"
Sydney says with a shrug.
"They all develop it right after they change for the first time."
Thanks for getting this done," you tell Sydney, trying for a sincere and encouraging tone. It's going to take a little bit of time for me to digest it all, but I'm sure it'll be super helpful.
Sure, no problem, Sydney says cheerfully. But what do you want me to work on now?
You think for a second. Why don't you look into Laxman Nirmal's background, see what kind of dirt you can dig up, help me put together some personal stories that Faith can tell on the campaign trail, ask around and see what you can find out about Maggie. Let's see here. I mean, she's apparently really good at digging this stuff up. I mean, the more we know about Laxman, the better. But Faith really does need a few extra stories. And I mean, she's just a kid. I don't want her running around for Maggie. You know what? Let's go with... No, we're not mudslinging right now, so let's not worry about that. What we will do is get some stuff together for Faith. Alright? You grin at Sydney's startled look. Oh, come on. You don't believe she comes up with those herself. You pull out a thick binder and slide it across the desk. This is our heartwarming speech file. It's got biographical details, enduring family moments, and personal statements from people the Congresswoman has helped in one way or another, or people who would be helped by her politics if she's reelected. Sydney eyes the binder doubtfully.
So you'll want me to
Go through the stories and pick out the ones you think are the best. We're looking for emotional impact here. Things you think will bring a tear to the eye of folks watching Faith's speech. Pick out a few dozen for me and sort them by type of story.
Sure, I can do that.
Sydney looks a lot more disillusioned walking out the door than coming in. All right. You don't have to wait long for the Star's editorial board to make its decision. Less than a week after Goodpenny's interview with the board, Abby emails you with the endorsement editorial attached. Here's what we're going to run with tomorrow, she writes. I'm cleared to share this with you, by the way. This isn't a leak. You sit for almost a minute with your cursor hovering over the file, summoning up the nerve to open it. All your nerves end up being for nothing. The endorsement can only be described as glowing. Phrases like unqualified recommendation and impressive record are used. It is our opinion that Congresswoman Goodpenny is not just the most qualified candidate in the race, she's the only qualified candidate. The Star's board writes, we strongly urge all voters to select Goodpenny for Congress on Election Day. You can barely keep yourself in your seat long enough to forward the editorial to Goodpenny and fire off an email thanking Abby for sending it over. Then you're up and half walking, half dancing around the office, showing off the endorsement to the staff and promising drinks on you at the next happy hour. You can only spend so long celebrating, though. Getting the Star's endorsement is a good step on the road to turning this campaign around, but you need to follow it up with something that capitalizes on the good press you just got. A public appearance by Goodpenny could be just the thing to keep the good coverage ball rolling. You just have to figure out where she ought to go. You confirm with Ashanti and your pollster before deciding. I think the county fair is going to be the best, Ashanti says, drawing her finger down the page in the poll book. Take a look at these numbers. Boot camp graduation at the local military base, Good Penny can strut her stuff in front of the troops and give a rousing speech about leading the way at home and abroad. Crying families, cheering soldiers, what could be better? The county fair, Ferris wheels, funnel cakes, and crowds full of hands to shake and babies to kiss. A walk and talk interview with a local reporter will show the press that the public loves Good Penny, and where public opinion goes, media will follow. Then there's Sager Industries' newest factory opening this weekend. Good Penny can cut a ribbon with an absurdly large scissors and talk about her support for businesses that bring jobs to the district. I mean, Ashanti did bring up the county fair. I mean, it's the most open there is. It's the most general audience there is. Boot camp graduation, I mean, yeah, you're supporting the soldiers, but once again, that's only a small section. That's also the military. This other side, it's business. Even though business that can bring jobs to the common man, the county fair is land of the common man. Let's do it. It's short notice, but with a little wheeling and dealing, you managed to nab a short stint for Good Penny on the main stage. The speech is scheduled for 4 p.m. on a Friday afternoon, so the crowd is a little thin, but you herd them gently together to stand closer to the stage. And you know from experience that it'll look like a good-sized throng on camera. Good Penny tells the story of how she grew up just a stone's throw from these fairgrounds. She peppers the speech with references to local landmarks and traditions, and the crowd takes it pretty well, laughing in the right places and clapping in others. When the speech is over, Good Penny walks out into the audience to shake hands and kiss babies. A minute or two later, though, the loudspeakers crackle to life with an announcement that Ribs and Rose Corner, half price for the next hour, and the crowd melts away. A local TV reporter is waiting nearby for her promised interview with Good Penny. Good Penny is a little lackluster as they stroll through the fairgrounds, but she sticks to the message and doesn't make any noticeable gaffes. She chalked this up as a win. Days at the office are getting longer, to the point where it's not fair to call them merely days anymore. The last slot for meetings on your calendar ends at 8 p.m., and the idea that your workday ends there has become laughable. You're getting a little too used to nights like tonight, when turning the key to lock the empty headquarters seems to take the last ounce of your strength. And it's a struggle just to keep your eyes open and put one foot in front of the other as you head home. Your eyes open wider, though, as you pick up on the sound of footsteps behind you, and you realize that you've been hearing them for a while now. You turn a corner, and the footsteps follow. A chill runs down your spine as you become increasingly certain that you're being followed. Do I stop and confront whoever's following me? Do I try to lose them? Maybe I'm just jumping at shadows. Do I run away? What do we do, kids? Well, I know what you can do. You can like, share, and subscribe. Ring the bell to stay notified. And remember to take the poll to let me know exactly what you would do in this situation. So until next time, this has been Thorytime Thursdays. I'll catch you in the next chapter.